You got to think. At any given time that I get back and say everything, the club, the women, everything, Instagram, Facebook, all social media, and just focus 100%, 110, 120% on boxing, it's over. It's over. But right now I gotta work on me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's tough to do that and work on me at the same time. You know what I mean?
Breaking news, Javonte Davis gave his reaction to Adrien Broner pulling out of the Omar Figueroa fight due to mental health, where he stated, quote, "Boxers gotta stop using, quote, mental health, end of the quote shit to get out of stuff. Yo ass just a B word, end of the quote." Then Tank followed up with, "I'm not talking about Adrian because it was that with him." Well, it might be a little bit too late for that because the timing of it all tells it all. Tank put out that tweet as soon as Adrien Broner pulled out of the Omar Figueroa fight due to mental health. Notice Javonte didn't put this tweet out when Ryan and Danny pulled the mental health card. He did it when Adrien the Problem Broner did, which tells the whole story. However, Tank is talking about everybody. Clearly, Javonte is fed up, just like Errol Spence, with a lot of these fighters that's claiming mental health in a sport, like Dante said, that requires mental strength. Boxing is a sport, like Mike Tyson said, is 90% mental and 10% physical. Not the average human being can box because they can't handle the pressure. You have to be mentally strong to hop in that squared circle. So it's ironic that the mentally strong, tough fighters are the ones that's claiming mental health, which is why fighters like Javonte and Errol Spence are fed up, because they know through personal experience how tough mentally you have to be to hop in that squared circle. If a person has mental health, they could never box because they can't handle the pressure that comes along with it. In this game, mental strength is required. However, you guys could thank Ryan Garcia for starting this trend in the sport of boxing of mental health, all to duck Javonte Tank Davis. The fighter that Ryan Garcia said reminded him of that bully that used to bully him in school. Now, the $1 million question, does Adrien Broner really have mental health? Does Ryan Garcia and Danny Garcia have mental health? Absolutely. Just like Javonte Tank Davis said, he has mental health. Just like I have mental health. Just like you have mental health. We all have mental health. Just like we all have health. Just like we all have physical health. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that has stress-free life. We all deal with stress. We all deal with anxiety. And we all deal with depression. So we all have mental health. That's part of life. However, we are not mentally ill. That's what mental health is. A person that's labeled as having mental health is either a person that was born with mental illness or a person that developed mental illness throughout some type of tragedy, like war, so on and so forth. However, dealing with stress, a little of depression, dealing with the pressure of life that 80 to 90% of us human beings deal with on the regular is not mental health. Now, when it comes to Omar Figueroa, it's highly hypocritical for him to support Danny Garcia for having mental health, but then turn around and trash Adrien Broner for having the same type of mental health. Keep the same energy, don't flip. You gotta be consistent. Omar Figueroa can't support Danny Garcia for having the same type of mental health that Adrien Broner has. However, he trashes Adrien Broner for having the same type of mental health that Danny Garcia has, which is the heartbreak of life, the heartbreak of losses, so on and so forth. Nevertheless, when it comes to Adrien Broner, he did look like he was out of shape leading up to the fight. And I'm not talking about right now. We don't even know how he looks right now because he never showed a video of him being in shape at the moment in time. But leading up to the fight, he did look like he was out of shape and he had a tummy. So with that being the case, it looks like Adrien Broner have discipline issues. And we know that to be the case because that's something that Adrien Broner have been dealing with his entire career, is the fact that he doesn't have the discipline that matches his talent. And that was pretty much his downfall. Listen, at the end of the day, or at least the night, we all could agree, people would rather hit the club than train. People would rather have fun than putting in that work. People would rather drink alcohol and all of these other bad substances that people put in their bodies in order to get high, instead of drinking water, something that's actually good for you. Therefore, the point is, discipline is the key to success, especially for a fighter, an athlete, or even an average human being. So Adrien Broner's main problem is his discipline that got him to this point. And that's what separated Floyd Mayweather from a lot of these other fighters, is his discipline, is hard work and dedication. The fact that he stays so disciplined, he doesn't drink nor smoke or do anything that would harm his body because he uses his body to fight. Like Floyd Mayweather said, your health is your wealth. Furthermore, mental health has been taken out of context in the sport of boxing. Dealing with the hardship of losing is not mental health. That's the hardship of life. I mean, when are people going to realize heaven is not on earth? Life is full of challenges. Even the rich OD. A person has to find their purpose and be connected with Allah the Most High. If not, you may end up being a lost soul. You may end up being lost in the sauce. Nevertheless, when Danny Garcia said, being rich doesn't disqualify you from having mental health. Well, listen, first of all, a person that's doing better than me and 95% of the people on earth, if he, Danny Garcia, is going through a little heartbreak due to losing to Errol Spence, what's the big deal? I'm pretty sure he dealt with worse. I'm pretty sure at some point of Danny Garcia's lifespan, he dealt with way worse when he was broke and on the come up. Like, what are we talking about here? I actually already made a video on this, which I'm gonna leave the link for that video in the comment section below. But I heard a lot of people say, being a millionaire does not disqualify you from having mental health. Now, first of all, dealing with the heartbreak of losing and mental health are not the same thing. People that actually have mental health or was born with it. Second of all, the main point I was making is, who would you rather be? A fighter like Danny Garcia, a person that has everything, whose net worth is probably around 20 million. He's a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. Would you rather be this multi-millionaire or a homeless person that's looking for his next meal, that can't find nothing to eat? That's a rhetorical question. The point is, what are we bringing awareness to? A millionaire that's dealing with a little of depression instead of the millions of people that's dying from hunger? Like I said before, people that's hungry, homeless people, they don't have the luxury to be depressed. They don't. Being depressed as a millionaire is a luxury to a homeless person. Let me ask you guys another question to the people that say millionaires could have mental health as well, because y'all not getting the point. Let me ask you this. Do you think the homeless people that are more than 820 million care about Danny Garcia having mental health due to the heartbreak of losing? Like, for real. Do you guys think these homeless people care about a millionaire being depressed? I want to know the answer to that question. Absolutely not. They give 0 Fs. They over here trying to find their next meal in order to survive. in order to feed their babies that may die if they can't find the next meal. Their life is dependent on their next meal. You think they care about a multimillionaire having or dealing with a little of depression? Now, let me ask you this. Who do you care about more? A multimillionaire that's dealing with a little of depression due to the heartbreak of losing, like Danny Garcia, or a homeless person that he and his whole family may die if they don't find their next meal? Who do you care about more? The people that's dying in war or Danny Garcia mental health? Who do you care about more? The people that get killed due to injustice or a multimillionaire who is dealing with the heartbreak of losing to Errol Spence, aka Danny Garcia? You tell me. Believe it or not, the best way to deal with the heartbreak of losing that's causing depression is stay out of social media. I repeat, stay out of social media. Last but not least, for the people that's comparing Ryan to AB, that's nowhere near the same. Because while Ryan is ducking everybody, from Tank to Devin Haney to Manny Pacquiao, so on and so forth, on the other hand, AB fought everybody, from Manny Pacquiao to Maidana to Sean Porter, and the list goes on and on and on. A lot of people forget that AB is a 4-division world champion. On the other hand, Ryan Garcia is the Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, social media undisputed champion. That's all he is. Therefore, you could never compare the two. However, I do believe Adrien Broner pulled out of the Omar Figueroa fight because he wasn't disciplined all this time, so he was out of shape and he couldn't get himself in shape in the amount of time he projected before fight night. And that's why he ended up pulling out of the Omar Figueroa fight. With that being stated, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.